So, um, I don't know about you, but when I'm in the presence of beauty, um, things just slow down. There's this opportunity for presence, that when you are noticing beauty or soaking up beauty in the presence of beauty, that is just such a gift. It's such a gift to be in the presence of anything beautiful, anything at all. But certainly the nature around us right now is amazing. And you've maybe heard this quote before, by Noam Chomsky, but it's just simply this: a day spent without the sight or sound of beauty, the contemplation of mystery, or the search for truth, is a poverty stricken day. And the succession of such days is fatal to human life. And, I really believe this to be true, that if we go lots of periods of time without contemplating the mystery, without being in the presence of beauty, we become bereft. So, what have you done for yourself lately to put yourself in the presence of beauty and in the presence of mystery? And if it's been a bit, if you're like, "Ooh, I haven't had my dose of that," what can you do today? Or can you even just recognize what's around you? It doesn't have to be go up into the mountains. It doesn't have to be have, a vacation somewhere beautiful. It can just be simply engaging with your houseplant or looking into someone's eyes and noticing their smile or any millions of other things that help us to recognize beauty all around us. And same with the contemplation of mystery and the search for truth. And to me, oftentimes those three things merge into presence, when we are in the space of noticing something beautiful. Okay, so close your eyes and sit up straight and tall, and let's see if we can find these qualities within us. Not even something that we need to outwardly hear or see, but can you close your eyes and move inward and recognize beauty? Something within yourself. It can be any form of beauty that you're recognizing within you. How often are you contemplating mystery? What is this inner space where when you close your eyes and go inward and sit with the presence of what is there a contemplation of the mystery involved in this moment? It could be something simple like, how is it possible that my lungs can transmute oxygen from the air? Or it could be something much more expansive. And the same with the truth. Can you recognize the truth of how you feel in your physical body, in your emotional body? What is true right now for you? Without judgment, without trying to condition it or tell a story, just what is true. A day spent without the sight or sound of beauty, the contemplation of mystery, or the search for truth is a poverty stricken day, and the succession of such days is fatal to human life. So let's nourish ourselves, keep enlivening ourselves in this way. Bring your hands together at your heart. Offer an intention. Maybe it's just about noticing, being present for these experiences. Maybe it's something very specific. As you release your hands down, bring your hands onto your knees And take three big, beautiful breaths in and out. Align your posture well for your breath. Notice with each consecutive breath if things are starting to slow. After your three breaths, open your eyes and let's find our way. And it doesn't mean stop breathing, but just start moving while breathing. So let's go ahead and find our way onto our mat. Okay. And as you stretch out on your mat, let's see if we can recognize the simple joy of being in your body over and over again as you practice. Try not to have agendas, but just observing. And what are you noticing that's beautiful in your movement as you stretch your arms overhead and feel some reaching in your body? Is there something that feels really good about this simple movement? Is there something that feels good about lying down on the ground, resting your head down? And when you're ready, bring your knees into your chest and let's rock a little bit, swaying from side to side. And then hang on to your knees and let's circle, kind of rolling in one direction a few times. And then going the other way. All right, and then let's open and close our knees so we just feel our way into some movement in our hip joints. And put your feet on the ground and cactus open your arms for a moment. And just let your chest expand, let your ribs find the expansion of your breath. Noticing the weightedness of your head, try to relax your arms and shoulders in this position. All right, and then while your arms are here, let's start to windshield wiper our knees and turn your head in opposition of your knees. And I'm going to roll all the way to our right side. Place your palms together, arms are straight, knees are together, ankles are together. Bend your hips and knees at right angles. Take a deep breath in, open up across your chest. And then as you exhale, coming back. And again, big breath in, exhale. One more time. And then we'll roll to the other side, stack everything up. And when you do this, you can let your knees slide apart. Inhale to open up, hand behind you, turn your head. Or you can experiment with keeping your knees glued together. Just see where the twist goes in your body, what feels comfortable. Making sure that you're breathing. After you've done 3 breaths there, let's expand open to a star on the ground, reaching your limbs. Then exhale, draw your knees into your chest, pick up your head. One more time, expanding open to a star. While you're out here, wiggle your fingers, roll around in your wrists, wiggle your toes. And the knees into your chest one more time. Put your head down, grab your feet, a happy baby pose, opening up your back.
rocking a little bit if you'd like from side to side. All right, keep your right knee and stretch your left leg long on the ground. And let's, as we squeeze our knee in, have some movement of our feet. Roll around in your ankles, wiggle through your toes. All right, now a full twist here. Grab onto that right knee, twist open one more time, feeling that expansion. Perhaps slide the arm on the ground like a snow angel now. So instead of just opening and closing their chest, we're getting our pecs to kind of expand across a range. And then back to center. Pick up your knee, pick up your head, give a squeeze, and then switch sides. Head comes down, left knee in, move around in your ankles. Relax your skull. Feel the freedom in your feet and in your ankles, into your calves, your shins. And then we'll cross that left knee over to the right, roll open into a twist, turn your head, and feel free to slide around in your arm. How's the breath? All right, we'll stretch open one more time. Bring that left knee into your chest, give it a squeeze, and then stretch open to a star. Roll onto your side and come up to your hands and your knees. As you find all fours, we'll start to wake up our spine in some flexion and extension. So we've already done some twisting, and now we'll get to move our spine this way. So round the spine and arch the spine and enjoy your range of motion. Breathing deeply. And then wag your tail. Move around in your shoulders, any kind of movement that feels good. We're going to do some circles in just a moment. So first maybe just wag around. Okay. All right, and then neutral spine. And we'll start with the pelvis. Do some circles with the pelvis. So imagine a paintbrush on your tailbone and you're painting a circle on the wall behind you. So just do some circling with the hips, with the pelvis. Kind of loosening up the low back a little bit, and then change directions, moving your pelvis the other way. How's your breath? All right, and then come down to a child's pose. Stretch open your arms, stretch open your spine. Find your breath. And then we'll walk our hands over to one side and feel the joy of stretching open your rib cage here, feeling your shoulder expand. And then over to the other side and enjoy. And then come back up onto all fours. Wiggle your spine around. We'll do one more twist here, reaching one arm up in the air. Exhale, slide that shoulder down. Relax the head, let the neck be at ease, let your eyes be at ease. Breathe deeply into your lungs. All right, face the ground with your chest. Stretch the back side of your shoulder a little bit. Collarbones widen. Drop your hips back toward the heels. All right, and then inhale. Bring that arm back up. Let's roll the wrist while your arm is up here in the air. And then place that hand down. Let's switch sides. Arm up. Exhale, slide that arm under. Twisting to the side. Find your breath. Relax your neck. Try to be at ease through your skull. And then face the ground. Collarbones are wide. Getting it outside of your shoulder to stretch a little bit more. Inhale, reach that arm all the way up, and let's rock and around in your wrists, moving through your hand. And then place that hand down onto the ground. All fours again. Now we're going to do some rolling through our rib cage. So chest down, ribs over to the side, up toward the sky, over to the other side and down. So just rib cage rolls. Find your breath. And let's go the other direction. Just feeling some mobility through our spine, our rib cage, and getting a little bit of a massage for the lung tissues itself. Okay. All right, curl your toes under, stretch back to a child's pose with your feet broad. Open up the bottom of your feet. And then come back to neutral. And the last thing we'll circle is the head. Be very mindful when you do this. If circles don't feel good, you can just rock your head from side to side instead of some circles. Maybe you can do some semicircles. Just see what feels good. Shoulder blades stay grounded on your back. Okay. All right, and then when you're ready, lift up to a dog pose. Now we get to put our whole body back together again instead of little segmented parts. Let's root and rise. Let's breathe deeply. Feel that fullness of your body from hands to hips to feet. Take some time if you'd like to pedal your feet, opening up the bigger muscles in your legs and your glutes, your hamstrings, your calves. Full breath in, full breath out. All right, and then we'll walk our feet forward, come to Uttanasana, a forward fold. Relax your neck. Inhale for a halfway lift, opening up through the backs of the legs again. And then exhale, releasing to come back down. Let your head drop. One more time, a full breath in, a half lift. And exhale to melt a bit. Soften your knees, release your head. Push through your feet, rising up, bringing the arms to the sky, reaching upward. Let's roll our wrists while we're up here. Okay. Open and close your fists while you're up here. And then do a little bit of lymph moving today. Just see what it feels like to pump through the edges of your body and then relax that. And let's open up through our chest, expand, and exhale and round. We'll do this whole rhythm twice more. Inhale up, out, and around, chin to chest. One more time. And pause here in Tadasana. Full breath in, full breath out. Let's cross our right arm over our left arm. Drop your shoulders, collarbones broaden. Lift your elbows up a little bit and just feel that expansion across the tops of your shoulders, but also a little bit of squeezing through your armpits and elbows. And then inhale, Reach those arms back up. We'll put the other arm on top, left arm on top, drop shoulders, collarbones wide, lift your chest. Breathing deeply. Release the arms. Rising up, lowering down. Relax your head. Inhale for a halfway lift, opening up. While we're here, hands on blocks, let's pedal your feet while you're here. So moving one hip back, bending the opposite knee. All right, then ground through the soles of the feet. Bend your knees a bit and melt to come forward. Step back to a dog. Long spine. Full breath. Notice your body and how it's shifting and changing. A full breath in. A complete breath out. Notice the ground under your hands and feet. Let's come forward into a plank. Drop your shoulder blades away from the ears. And we're just going to do some twisting. So twist left and twist right. Maybe exhale as you twist. Inhale back. Exhale, twist. Inhale back. Just kind of find some rotation in your torso. All right, and then find neutral. Come down to the ground. We'll roll the shoulders a few times here. Inhale, rolling up to a cobra. A big open heart, stretch the belly. Exhale, coming back down. Remember how much lymph you have in your belly. Big breath in. Exhale, relax. Come up on tall fours. Wag your tail a little bit. And we're going to compress down into the hips and knees. Okay. We'll do this 3 times. Inhale, rise up onto your knees. Arms up high. Exhale, down you go. Arms at your sides. Compress down through your hips and knees. Inhale. Up onto your shins. Exhale to compress. Bring your arms out in front of you. Lift to a dog pose again. Pedaling your feet. Take your feet wide on the edges of the mat. We're going to crouch like a squat and then straighten your legs. Crouch like a squat and then straighten your legs. One more time. Crouch like a squat and straighten your legs. Walk your feet forward. Uttanasana again. Inhale, a halfway lift. Exhale to mount. Relax your head. Push through your feet. Rising up. Trace down through the center. Pause here for a moment. And just rock up onto our toes. And back down onto our heels. Up onto our toes and back onto our heels. So it doesn't matter how high you go, just kind of moving the bottom of your feet, pumping a little bit through your calves. As we come up onto our toes, our calves will engage, and then as you come onto your heels, your shins will engage. And then pause and just let the melting of the soles of your feet happen. Big breath here. All right, and now we're going to bounce. You don't have to leave the floor. Just some bouncing. Bouncing is really good for your nervous system. Your calves might be a little achy. If that's the case, you can bounce on one foot.
And give that leg a little shake and bounce onto the other foot. And you don't have to just stay in a simple bounce. You can wiggle around in any which way you want to wiggle around. All right, take your arms out, shake your hands, keep your feet still now. Shake those hands up. Take your feet a little bit wider than your hips, but at least hip width apart. And if this makes you dizzy, you cannot do it, okay? So you don't have to do this. Deep breath in, exhale down. One more. And then pause in Tadasana. And just notice if you feel like your fluids are moving. You know, if you have woken up the fluid system in your body. Breathing deeply. Exhaling fully. Inhale, rise up with your arms. And let's exhale and float. Grab onto your elbows. Let them hang a little bit. Relax your neck. All right, and then we'll release our hands onto blocks. A halfway lift. Melting to fold. Step the left foot back. Right foot is in front. Finding a lunge. All right, let's bend and straighten that front knee. Feel free to see what it feels like to keep your toes grounded. Feel free to see what it feels like to lift your toes when you straighten your leg. We're getting compression in our hip, openness behind our knee. All right, ground and place your back knee on the earth. Open up through the hip flexor. We're gonna come on up, reaching your left arm up in the air. A little bit of a side bend, teeniest bit of side bend, then we'll turn it into a twist. So forearm can be on your knee, elbow to the knee, hand on the knee. Your choice, doesn't matter how deep you are. Drop your shoulders, wide collarbones. Now I want you to lean forward, compress your collarbones, drop your chin into that compression, and then open up to the twist again, collarbones wide. Come inward, compress your collarbones toward the midline, and then open them up one more time into a twist. Last time, compress, leaning forward, compress your shoulders in, collarbones in, and then open back up. Okay, come back around, and let's find our way to a child's pose. Enjoy compressing both hips now. Root down. Okay. And when you're ready, bring your left foot forward to a lunge. Lift up your back knee. And we'll start to move here, bending and straightening the front knee. Finding your breath. Feeling that sense of stretching open through the back of the knee and then compressing into the hip. Breathing as you go. And we'll put our back knee down onto the ground. Feel that openness through the hip flexor. And we'll reach that right arm up in the air. Maybe a little bit of an arcing up and over, just a teeny bit. And then we'll come to a twist on this side.
Drop your shoulder blades down. Use your left hand to put on your thigh to give you some oomph to lift your spine with. Hug to the midline with your legs. And now we'll find our breathing. So exhale, compress your shoulder blades in. And then inhale, wide collarbones. Open to the twist. Exhale, compress the collarbones in. I think I said shoulder blades before, I meant collarbones. Inhale, open to the twist. One more time. Compress your collarbones. And then open them up. And we'll release our hands down onto the ground. And let's find our way back to a dog pose. A long, spacious spine here. Take your feet wide apart. Let lots of room happen for your breath. We're going to come forward into a plank again. Grounding yourself, shoulder blades down the back. And we'll find our way to the ground. Arms down at your sides, palms facing the floor. If you prefer, we're going to do this twice. Let's all do it this way for the first time. And for the second, you can, if you prefer, come to a locust pose. But for now, hands down. Inhale, rise up. Wide collarbones, shoulder blades down. Find your spine, find your core. Big breaths. Move your diaphragm. And exhale and release. Put your hands underneath your forehead. Pick up your feet and windshield wiper your knees. All right. Let's go ahead and take our hands behind us. You can repeat that, palms facing the ground, or if you'd like, interlace your hands behind your back and lift to a locust pose. Your choice. Collarbones widening. Breathe deeply into your belly. Move your belly, move your diaphragm. Let your whole abdomen rise and fall a little bit. Glutes are engaged. Core muscles engaged, back muscles engaged. And then relax and come down. Put your hands underneath your head again. Let's pick up your feet and rock left to right. And let's draw our left knee high up toward our armpit. Look at that knee. Feel the compression in your hip and knee. Cross that right arm over and we'll roll open to a twist. Big breaths. Cross your collarbones. Okay, let's roll back. Bring the other knee up. Compress into that knee and hip. And we'll take a twist to the side. Left arm moving over to the right and roll open. Stretch across your spine, across your collarbones, melt your head. And come back out of there, back up onto all fours. Move around in your spine and maybe find a full cat-cow, a big breath. Push through your feet and rise up to a dog. Grounding yourself, wiggling around in your feet and your hands, feel the ground. Full breaths in, full breaths away. Walk your feet forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, a halfway lift. Melting to fold again. Pushing through your feet, rising up, tracing down through the center. Okay, now we're going to do some tapping. Okay, so you can take scooper hands, you can take fists, have like the thumb and index finger part of your fist touching. So, whatever is comfortable, we can start with right at our collarbones. Okay, so experiment whether you like to use fists or whether you like to use finger pads or palms. All of it's great. So, whatever feels comfortable to you. Right across your collarbones. Experiment with all three, either your finger pads, tapping around your collarbones, your open, your fists where your thumb and your index finger part of your fist comes across your collarbones, and then your palms. Okay, and then take the hands and kind of slap down your arms. Don't forget your armpits, your shoulders. I can do the other arm when you're ready. Into the back of your neck, tops of your shoulders, and then move around to the front of your throat. Nice gentle slaps. And then we'll come up around our face and our head. You can tap, you can slap, whatever feels good. Then down to your ribs. Take your fists along your kidneys and the back and the sides. And then to your belly. Your low back, your sides, your glutes, your hips. And you can go down your legs. Make sure you get your feet, soles of your feet, tops of your feet. Okay. And then pause. And just notice the aliveness of your body. A lot of your lymph lives very superficially right below your skin. Some of it's deeper, a lot of it's in joint spaces. Let's just notice all the tingly fluid movement in our body. Okay, we're going to do a little compression and release now. So standing on our right, we're going to cross our left thigh over and we're going to put our right arm on top. If you need some balance support, do this pose with your butt against a wall or a piece of furniture. We're standing on our right leg first. Drop the shoulders, lift the chest, find your eagle pose. So if you struggle with balance, take the balance out of it for today because we're really about the lymph today. So squeeze the legs, squeeze the arms, breathing deeply, full breaths to your ribs. And then inhale, open that up, a standing star. Open and close your fists or shake your hands. And then come back to neutral and pause. And we'll change sides. We're going to stand on our left foot, cross the right leg over. Left arm is on top. Okay. Drop your shoulders, lift your chest, squat and squeeze. Squat, squeeze, and breathe. Soften your gaze, your peripheral vision. Open up your breath as best as you can. Squeeze your legs together, squeeze your arms. And then we'll unwind, standing star again. A little wave or a little shake through your hands. Keep your legs nice and wide.
And we'll come down to a deep squat. Open up your chest, open up those hips, finding your breath. Okay, coming up to a standing star, finding our breath. We'll exhale down to a goddess. Inhale to rise back up. Exhaling to come down. Inhaling to come on up. One more time. Right. We're going to turn our right foot out and come into a Parsvakonasana. We're going to have a little mobility in here. First, just ground yourself, ground your legs. And we're going to move through our ribs. Opening up to our reverse. And then coming back to Parsvakonasana. Moving your breath, moving your ribs, moving your arms. One more time. And then we'll come all the way up to stand. Pause between feet wide, legs straight, come down and invert. So allow for an inversion in your body. Let your head drop down. Breathing deeply. And we'll come back up and find our Parsvakonasana, turning to the left. So turn your left foot out, come into your lunge, ground yourself, reach that arm over your head, Parsvakonasana. Full breaths. Root down, ground your feet, give energy into the earth, and we'll start to move. Inhale, come into that reverse warrior. Exhale, Parsvakonasana. One more time. Finding your breath pattern. And then we'll straighten up again. Heel toe your feet in. And we'll come down to a squat. Okay, so a low squat. You can sit on the edge of a block. If you want, you can put a blanket underneath your heels. If you come down to squat and your heels don't make it to the ground, you can put a lip of a blanket underneath there. You can have your legs wider, you can bring them closer, you can sit on the edge of a block instead of being on the ground. So just kind of find, and if you can't squat deep, that's okay, just go where you go. You can even do this sitting on a chair and just kind of find as deep as you can in your hips. Lift through your chest, finding your breath. All right, and then we'll come on to your knees and find a child's pose. Turn, we're gonna come into a dog pose, so turn if you're not already there to the front, facing the front of your mat and find a child's pose. Pressing. And then when you're ready, we'll lift one last time to a dog pose. Take your time pedaling your feet here if it feels good. A full breath in, a long breath out.
All right, come on down. And we're gonna come on to our back. All right, so have a block handy. We'll need it twice. But first, we're going to come to a full bridge. This will be the last of the, assertive postures of using a lot of strength. So root the four corners of your feet. And before we go, let's just have a little bit of, movement in your ankles. You can roll around. Make sure you're feeling your feet. And then ground your feet. And we're going to come up to a bridge pose. Rock onto the tops of your shoulders and find a full bridge. Okay, so find the openness across your collarbones. Keep your neck neutral. Press the back of your head a bit into the ground and lift your sternum toward your chin. Wide collarbones. Drop your shoulders. Root the four corners of your feet. Breathe deeply all the way into the armpit chest, all the way into the belly. All right, and then we'll come down and relax. Windshield wiper your knees. Turn your head in opposition of your knees. All right, now we're going to do a more passive bridge. So remember, you want the block across your sacrum, not in line with your spine. So if you want more height, you can start with a low height. That might be sufficient. You could come to the middle height if you want a little extra height. Sometimes with the middle height, I don't like the skinniness of that block. So I'll take two blocks and switch the direction of them. So I kind of have they're meeting with the line between them lined up with my spine. That's a nice comfortable position to rest your buttocks on sometimes. And then if you want the third height, stack the two blocks one on top of the other so that they're across your whole sacrum. Whatever height you're choosing, we're breathing. Full breaths in. Feel free to straighten your legs or one at a time. Sometimes if you're straightening your legs, a little wider legs can feel nice too. Just experiment. Breathe everywhere you can breathe. All right, and then we'll go ahead and get the blocks out of there. Lower your pelvis down to the ground. Another round of some windshield wipers, knees moving in opposition of your head. Now, you have a choice. We're going to do a leg up the wall pose. If you don't feel like using a wall, you can grab a block, put it under your pelvis, and do it right here in the middle of the room with your legs pointing straight up. We're going to stay here for at least a couple of minutes, maybe 2 minutes. So, of course, you can put your legs up an actual wall if you prefer, since we're going to be holding it for a teeny bit longer than we sometimes do in the middle of the room. So your choice. You can put a blanket underneath you with your legs up a wall or legs in the air. Make sure you stay open across your collarbones. So you don't want to have this pose compress your chest or your throat. Highly recommend doing a leg up the wall pose every single day, either against an actual wall, or if you're taking the lazy man's route like I am right now, you can be in the middle of the room. If you do the pose against the wall, it's much more restful. It takes a minute to get yourself comfortable there, But once you are there, it's a lot more restful of a posture than having your legs just in the air with your pelvis up on a block. So try, you don't always have to do one or the other. But make sure, yeah, at least some of the time you're actually putting your legs against a wall. It's very nurturing, and you can just do it spontaneously. I find myself putting my legs up the wall in my kitchen all the time. If I'm resting while cooking, if I have 2 minutes where nothing needs to be stirred or chopped or checked, I'll just get on the ground. Okay. Or if you're having a conversation with somebody, why not lie down and put your legs up the wall? It doesn't always have to be in a dedicated yoga practice. If you spend a lot of time on your feet through the day, it's a real boon to do this in the evening at the end of the day. You'll notice perhaps that if you don't have a wall and you stay here for an extended period of time, you might wish that you had the wall. Okay, so we do this often when we have maybe a 30-second to a 1 minute of the posture. But really, if you're going to do it restoratively, 5, 10, 20 minutes against a wall is a much better way because your body will relax more. Remember, whenever you're doing an inversion, you want your legs above your pelvis above your heart. Doesn't have to be directly above, like vertical, but just higher so that all the lymph and the blood is draining up toward your chest, the blood toward your heart, the lymph toward the vessels that go back into your cardiovascular system, which live right at your collarbones. All the lymph in your whole body drains into two vessels right at your collarbones, one on either side, back into your cardiovascular system. Which is why, mobilizing the chest and collarbones is really effective for keeping any stagnation moving in that place. All right, let's bend our knees, bring our knees into our chest, and we'll come put our feet on the ground. And if you're on against a wall, come away from the wall, and we'll do a simple twist before Shavasana. So hips up, scoot them to the right, knees up, drop them to the left. Big breath, relax your head, open across your chest, your collarbones stay broad. Let your legs relax. Let your spine relax. Let your head relax. Coming back to center, scoot your hips the other way. And let's find our way to a twist on this side. Come back up. Now, if you find that you have some tightness or swelling in your legs, you can always, anytime you want, do a Shavasana with your calves up on a couch or a chair. It's a nice way of doing the pose. If you struggle with any edema in your legs. Okay, and as we prepare for Shavasana, take any version that feels right to you, any support you need. As you lie down on the ground, let's enjoy the deep rest through your body. Melt and relax as best as you can. Begin to move our body a little bit. A full breath in, a full exhale. Any movement that your body needs. As you find the ground, roll over and come to a comfortable seat. Take your time, moving so slow in your transitions. There's no rush at all. When you come to a comfortable seat, let's remember the yoga homework for the day. A day spent without the sight or sound of beauty, the contemplation of mystery, or the search for truth is a poverty-stricken day, and a succession of such days is fatal to human life. This is by Noam Chomsky. So let's not have a succession of these days. Let's open ourselves today to mystery, to truth, to beauty. Send this energy outward, sharing your practice with another. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.